Hell's Paradise anime finally came out, and Studio Mappa did a fantastic job while doing the animations because it captured everything from the Hell's Paradise manga. And honestly, they did do some couple of changes, which is okay because with the manga is very dark and very gritty and also too very brutal as well. And there I know that probably later on in the series they're probably gonna have to change things up from what the manga actually has because there were certain things that was like, yeah, you kind of have to censor that part. But other than that, they did kept the tone and they did kept the level of violence that was in this episode of Hell's Paradise, which was very fantastic. And they had like a lot of blood. They didn't shy on the kills, and they kind of changed up certain details on how Gabimaru was actually executed, especially with certain scenes of like the fire part. But episode one finally came out, and it's all about Gabimaru, how he actually got captured thanks to the fact that he was betrayed by his own ninja clan because he was trying to honestly get out of the clan and he wants to have a normal life with his wife. And it was funny because in the beginning of the chapter, he kept telling himself that he doesn't care for life and that how much he wants to die. And they all try to do some executions because he was sentenced to death. And all the time they're trying to execute him by cutting his head off, ripping his body parts with the two bulls, and putting him on fire did not work. And in actuality, he is actually resisting the execution because he's trying to find someone that is worthy enough to go ahead and kill him. And then we see him actually telling his story to Sagari, who's actually is just writing down the notes and pretending to document his whole story before he gets executed. So at this time, Gabimaru is actually talking to her, and in actuality, Sagari is actually his executioner because Sagari kind of knows that Gabimaru actually wants to live because while listening to the story, it reveals that Gabimaru actually loves his wife because his wife actually gave him something that he pretty much always wanted or never knew that he actually wanted because Gabimaru was robbed of a normal life because the ninjas actually killed his parents and took him in while he was a baby, and he trains to be the top-notch shinobi, and he has the reputation of calling himself, or people calls him, Gabimaru the Hollow, as in that this man is a brutal killer. Like when the Black Air Force energy activates, this man will kill you. When he got arrested while his ninja team actually betrayed him, he literally killed 20 people. He literally killed 20 people, and it was just 100% brutal. But when it came down to his next execution, it revealed that Sagari was the one that was going to be executed. And she pulled out the blade and actually calls out Gabimaru's breath that he doesn't want to die. He actually wants to live. And she showcased her strength and her skills because Gabimaru can automatically sense that she is for real and that she is serious and that she will cut his head. And actually, Gabimaru is actually fighting back, and he's actually in fear because the whole entire time he was resisting these executions. But now that he sees Sagari is the real deal, he's like, no, I want to live. I want to go ahead and see my wife. I want to have a normal life with her. And so we see that Sagari just tells him like, hey, the blade don't lie. It says you want to live because you love your wife, because the wife actually loves you. She actually shunned people once you got like arrested because she believes that you're going to escape and you guys are going to reunite, especially since the wife actually loved Gabimaru because Gabimaru wasn't repulsive of her face because her father actually burned her face, and her father is actually Gabimaru's like boss who actually betrayed Gabimaru. So all of a sudden you can just pinpoint out like Gabimaru has a reason to live because one, he wants to kill his boss, and two, he actually wants to go ahead and have a normal life and escape this land that he's actually in to with his wife, so that way they can have a normal life, have kids and everything else. So while Gabimaru is fighting against Sagari, Sagari proposed him like, hey, there's this island and it's like Hell's Paradise where this has this like elixir and it could grant you like eternal life. But this island is very dangerous because when people actually goes to this island, island, they come back dead and their whole body is full of flowers. So Gabimaru was just like, well, if that's my only ticket way out, and this is like this underworld of this paradise, then let me go ahead, find this elixir, and I want to reunite with my wife. But then the other soldiers, they're just like, no, because we're not allow you to like escape with him. So Gabimaru was just like, screw this. And then we see his shinobi jujutsu powers, which is fire, and he used this ablaze attack, which literally didn't kill everyone, but just knocked them out. And then we see that Sagari was just like, all right, let's go, because we're gathering up all of like these dangerous criminals and to go on ahead to this island, get the elixir, and come back, and you will be free. Like, you will have no punishment. Your records and everything else will be erased. You'll be a free man and you'll be forgiven. So that's the whole deal, and that's what's wrapped around in chapter or episode 1. Sorry, but I did like the scene where they show that Sagari actually showcased like she's the real deal, and how Gabimaru's reaction was just 100% top of the notch. And I did like how Sagari, like how seriousness she was and how she was able to fool, Gabimaru. But also as to the animations when it came to the fire scene and the brutality and the art style was 100% great. And I actually did like that. And I actually did like how like they kind of like just made the tone, and how they kind of like change up the scenery when it came talking about the island, because when they first showed the explorers actually going to the actual island, it was like so bright, so colorful and everything else, while when they're going back into like the scene where Gabimaru is trying to be executed, especially too when it's like the nighttime and everything else, it's all like dark and gritty. But like everything else, like I said about this, anime is going to be great. This anime is going to be awesome, and I just can't wait to see more of the rest of the series being animated. And it's going to be a fun series. This series is going to be a very fun series. You guys are going to enjoy it and continue watching it. But let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this, because chapter 1, it pretty much just tells you how this series is going to be, and is going to be more brutal later on, because they already set the tone how this anime is not going to be friendly. This anime is going to go dark. But if you guys do like the video, please give this a like, subscribe, and remember, always be decent. And let me know down in your comment section how you guys feel about episode 1.